right, everybody. I'll see you soon. The mind of the medium is rather problematic. And we have managed to, at least for now, suppress the mind and step firmly in. The medium's taken a step to one side, and now we present ourselves. This talk will begin a series of talks. It was introduced last week and will begin now as a range of teaching. It is not meant to be a philosophy speech. This talk is rather in-depth. There is a lot to cover, and I will be covering it and speaking to people at different levels of their development. Not just different levels, but also different directions. There are some of you which are on the path of just wanting more peace in their lives. There are those which are following a path for the development of all avenues of spiritual expression, mediumship, for example. And there are some which are also beginning a path towards full realization. Within these, of course, there are those just beginning and those which have been walking their path for some time. So within the talk, there is multiple depth. The exercises at times will be different for those on different levels of progress. But if you listen to these talks in the future, you will find that there is more depth applicable to you where you are then. Progress to be made is a path you all must walk. The path towards understanding yourself and realizing yourself as true spirit within your human form, within your soul level, is a requirement of your birth, of your soul's evolution. It is your soul's mission. So this walking of the path is compulsory. Yet you have choice as to the time that you will begin. So you can begin your path today, or you can begin it next month, or next lifetime, or the lifetimes after. But you will start this journey. The journey I'm talking about, of course, is realization that the soul, in fact, is the spirit. I will be doing most of the education with this, although there will be others at times which will assist. The challenge I set you was to undertake this journey for 30 days, which very conveniently will be very close to the end of February. I asked you last week that you undertake the exercises for the full 30 days. You should endeavor to do as is given to you. You may wish to continue further. If you wish to continue further, you may go back to these recordings and listen at a deeper level. So let us begin. Over the next weeks, I will be introducing the 5 different blockages, or veils if you wish, that man has towards the understanding of his true self. Now you may, if you wish, consider them one blockage. They are all intermingled. They are not one distinct to another. They are very connected, but I will describe them separately. I have spoken about these in previous talks. Some would be familiar with those talks and the blockages I talk about. Each week we'll be talking about one and the way to get past them. And exercises to help you with that. Now, these 5 veils or 5 blockages in essence can work very closely to the blockages or the different levels of your aura. We can redefine all of these and make them 7 if you wish, or 9, or even 3. But 5 is the one which I have picked for our talk. Those 5 blockages or veils are initially the material world, the body, the emotions, the knowledge or intellect, and then bliss. You may find one of them more challenging than another. You may also think that you can cut a corner. If that is the case, then that is the one that you need to work with most. So the material world really needs little or even no description. This is everything that you consider to be external to your physical body. This is not just things you can touch, but also thoughts and feelings which come towards you from the external, not internal. You may consider them to be work-related or colleague-related or relationship-related. For many of you, you may find that dealing with the external world can be a challenge. Dealing with problematic people or circumstance. And in essence, this will always point you back to better understanding of yourself. You will have heard, I am quite sure, the phrases about looking inwards, and you have created this circumstances outwards, but it has come from your internal intentions. But these circumstances that happen around you think are there to get in your way. You think the problematic teenager or the problematic job or circumstances through lack of one thing or another are in your way for what you need to do or want to. But those events and circumstances are not in your way, they are on your way. They are there for you to prove yourself, to go back inwards, to bring the qualities outwards that are most required. Let us say you have a challenge with a work friend. The challenge with the work friend then is an opportunity for you to show your true nature. What is your true nature? Now, I am going to use 5 words, but the 5 words, of course, could become many more. So let us say your true nature is peace, truth, love, awareness, and joy. Now, these words will appeal to you, or one of them appeal to you individually about what your path is. Are you chasing peace, truth, awareness, etc.? So the challenge of the work friend is an example, but it is an opportunity for you to express through you, forgive me, one of these qualities. If you would like more peace in your life, that challenge then gives you the opportunity to express that peace. In expressing the peace, you affirm the peace inside you. Not only do you affirm peace, but you negate, let us say, anger or some other emotion, drama. The challenge arises, which way will you act? An expression of your true self, peace, or an expression of your illusory self, the hurt, egoic physical form, desiring to express, say, anger. So in essence, in the previous series of talks, a phrase was often mentioned about allowing spirit through into your life. This is allowing the true you into your life. Do you allow more peace into your life, or do you not? Now, let us continue. So all circumstances are your opportunity to express your true self, your spiritual nature. In doing so, you reaffirm your spiritual nature. In reaffirming your spiritual nature, the material world will have less effect on your being. If the material world has less effect on your being, you are moving more to your spiritual life, to your essence, to your true being, to the quality of peace. So you should pick just as a point of exercise, one of these 5 different expressions: peace, truth, love, awareness, joy. And each of these now are your real nature that you wish to bring into the world. This all sounds rather obvious and rather simplistic. Now, I said simplistic, not easy. The issue is more not what you want to express, but rather, how do I express it when my instincts are to act in certain ways? How do I make sure that when that challenge arises, I respond to peace because my first instinct is to respond with anger? Those exercises will be given shortly. You'll see, it is not that you do not have peace inside you. You do. You have those 5 qualities I mentioned, of course, plus others. There are many which think, I do not have peace, I do not have joy. There is no love in my life. But there is. You first need to let it out. And the opportunity to let more people into your life. So this journey is the self-expression that I have mentioned. In expressing these qualities, you are moving nearer to yourself, the truth. And you may ask me, how do I determine what is truth and what is not truth? Maybe you could change that word to illusion. There is a simple test. Each of the qualities I have mentioned are pure. Not only are they pure, but they never change. Truth is always true. Love is always love. It does not change to anger. If love changes to anger, it has either been covered over or it was never love in the first place. So the test is this constant or is it changeable? If it is constant, it is true in all circumstances. 1 + 1 = 2 forever. Not just on a Monday and a Wednesday. And if that is true, then it also should be uniting, bringing people together. Should be given away, should be shared. It should be simple. Not easy, but simple. So if you're loving someone, because love is the quality you are expressing, when there is true love in your heart, you love, and you always love. The mother always loves her child, even if that child is naughty and does something rather drastic wrong. You may dislike them for a little while, but you always love them. This is what's called as unconditional. Do not confuse love with like. Two different things. So, you need to understand, how do I bring this quality forward into my life? Of course, it is just a case of revealing that quality. It is not a case of discovering, creating, and finding the quality. It's about releasing the quality of peace within you. So now I will give some exercises. Mentioned last week in my talk, I mentioned to you that my medium has sitting next to him a list. And I mentioned that that list was wrong. Now he has acted on that list. It is a list of meditations. He does not know why he began them, but he has a list there. And for each meditation, he has listed a topic to talk about. But with the exception of the last two, everyone, he has not talked about the topic that he intended. He has been inspired to talk about another topic. But I am sure he will claim that as his own, which is perfectly fine. If you wish, they could be termed inspired meditations. No script was written for them, they were just spoken. Now, if you are beginning your meditation process, I ask you to undertake these meditations in the morning and in the evening. They are no more than 10 minutes. You can use the same recording in the morning and in the evening, and then the next day go to a different recording. If you are an experienced meditator and you are capable of sitting for, let us say, 30 minutes at a time, I wish you to sit on this topic is a slight short talk. A disciple asked his guru, "What is God?" And the guru responded, "God is food." Now, if you are an experienced meditator, I wish for you to repeat that phrase, "God is food," quite loudly internally with some vigor. And then be quiet. And let the answer and the meaning of that phrase come from your depth, not from your mind. It is not as obvious as you may think. Pose the question, "God is food," and do no more than listen for an answer. Do not think an answer. There are at least 3 of you present, either listening to this recording or present here now, that were given by myself a personal mantra. The mantra was designed just for you. If you have a mantra meditation, you should return back to that. That is your personal practice. As I have said, it's not the same as others' mantra. It is just yours. And should never be spoken aloud, only internally. So if you're a beginner, take care of the meditations which are recorded. If you are a mantra meditator, use that. If you are an experienced meditator, chase or let the answer come to you to what it means when God is food. You will know where you are. The answers to all of these things are not obvious. They are not meant to be obvious. The reason being, we are drawing out of you what is already there in your depth. If you use your mind, you will be limited to your mind. For those of you which are on the path of looking for, let us call it mediumship and all its modalities, this process with time and practice will develop clairaudience. For those of you which are on the path of releasing yourself, knowing yourself, having less suffering, this will bring you back to yourself. For those which are on the path towards realization, these are steps to take you beyond the limits of your external world. So meditate 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes of an evening, or if you're experienced, 30 minutes. Just one session of 30 minutes. Now there is another practice. It's a practice which will frustrate you, that you will do for a day or two and then be tempted to let go. But as I have said, this is a journey to your spiritual self. It's a path that you must take. Just your time or the date you start is optional. So the other practice is each time you walk through a doorway, stop before you walk through and think of that quality that, or one of the 5 qualities that you have chosen. Now that is not too difficult. Within current circumstances, then for some that will be fairly easy because you are within your house. For others, if you are more mobile, then it may become a little bit cumbersome. Before you cross a doorway, through a doorway, bring to mind the quality of your true self you chose. This act, with practice and time, will alleviate the desire to act instinctively, as I mentioned. When confronted with a challenge, the arising anger or the quality you picked, peace. That is what's at stake here. What is your life like with anger or with peace? You'll say to me, yes, well, it's obvious. I want more peace in my life. Well, then release it into your life. Let's move past that instinctive, habitual, constant pattern of reacting a certain way. And you do it by bringing forward that quality that you wish, initially by only thinking about it. That is not difficult. To begin with, it'll challenge you. Of course, you will walk through multiple doorways. Then do you not then bring through multiple thoughts of peace? You may wish, if you like, write a note to remind yourself. And stick it to the back of your front door as you walk out. Today, I bring more peace into my life, more joy, more truth, more awareness, more love, whatever you picked. Now, I will repeat once more. This is only a 30-day process. That is all I am asking from you. If it is too difficult for you, then we will accomplish this in your next lifetime. We will begin then. Or if you wish, we will begin in 5 lifetimes. I will come to you then. If you would like these phrases, these talks to be deeper, listen from a deeper level. There's a story, and that is, if a man sees his teacher as just a man, he will get knowledge from the man. But if the student saw his teacher as a wise man, then the knowledge will come and he will receive knowledge from a wise man. You will get out of life what you put into it. So we have 4 weeks, we have 5 veils. So veil 3 and 4 will be joined together. When we meet next week, if you are still with me and have not decided to delay your progress, I will begin the session by answering any challenges or problems or observations that you may have found during this. And then we'll progress on to the second veil, the human body. So with that, I will withdraw forward from you and leave you on your way. May I repeat once more, this pathway is your obligation. The time you start it is optional. God bless you all. Till next week.